one of the favorites for the entire tournament. They got themselves an all-English trio here with lorry drivers, all of them with RLCS experience themselves. KUXIR, the oldest remaining player in the competition at 26. How much more energy does he got in those bones?
Oh god, when the oldest player in the competition is 26 and like old, the word old keeps rattling around, I always think, what does that make me? Well, definitely not an RLCS contender, but by no means. But here on the field, we're going to be seeing KUXIR97 yet again. And the Gotham City was a multiplayer effort. KUXIR has made his shots, and in that final game especially, I think the whole squad of Gotham was energized. But right here, they have to do it all over again. As HIBBS, playing as HIBBS in this game, Noah and GOMB would be a strong contender.
Crying myself to sleep this evening, tonight. In 14 hours, I turn 29. So believe me, everyone, I get it. Also, happy birthday to me. 4 minutes left. Forget the birthday celebrations. If celebrations for either of these teams, if they can find an early enough breakthrough. But as is wont most times in game number 1, Jam, both teams very much just meeting each other in a minute.
Yes, nobody with a super clear chance to make anything on the field. But Gotham City are trying to pile on their pressure. Haven't seen much of lorry drivers in the attack, so their game plan for us, since we're seeing them for the first time today, is mildly unknown. HIBBS with individual effort. Beautiful flick slotted right between Tokyo and the crossbar of Gotham City. We've got an open.
And the best thing there is that he had an option. Tokyo didn't really know where to look. Looks like it's Spring Chicken themselves, either Tokyo. It's a name that's been around the EU scene for a long time. Now looking towards his early to mid-20s. But he's going to want to look back and potentially see what he could have done better there. But I don't think there's really much he could take from it, Jam.
Tokyo still on the wall, but without boost, and NOAHSAKY collecting everything they can find on the field. And nobody with a touch. Everybody's incredibly awkward. And they need a clear pronto. Tokyo at the very least brings something to them, and a counterattack starts, but unlike some of the looks that Gotham City got versus Gross Noobs, lorry drivers are not keeping their net wide open.
They've not dropped a single game so far. They look to continue that trend here, lorry drivers, but the one goal advantage still remains a little precarious. It might very well turn into a 2-goal advantage if we see loose possession like that from KUXIR97. BADNEZZ looking to go over the top of NOAHSAKY and does at least bash his way through to the backboard. HIBBS collects, not very well, and KUXIR puts a little too much mustard on the cross.
Goes high, Gotham City still without a ball as the attack goes the other way on the ground. Noah looking for a second touch. Cooks needs to jump in front of HIBBS and make that save any other attempts. GOMB and the rest of lorry drivers are always apt and very much intent on following the ball themselves, while also keeping in the pocket an opportunity for the second player to come in. It's a strategy that if they going to be in a given time, I think they're going to get a result 9 times out of 10 at the very end.
NOAHSAKY playing anchor, easy enough to collect. Top of the box, minimal boost to work with. And does so well to ride that challenge. 1v1, goes for the far pocket! Oh, NOAHSAKY! Wowzers!
Should not be allowed, absolutely should not be allowed. KUXIR makes a great save, but Noah is still alive, and BADNEZZ expecting an immediate shot gets absolutely flabbergasted by NOAHSAKY. Simple, slow touch to the corner. And it takes a lot to get something out of that situation, and NOAHSAKY, even when there were zeros all across the board, he makes it work.
It completely deceives the defense, the ball basically coming to a dead stop. Here he is again. BADNEZZ requiring every bit of that right bit of woodwork to aid him in at least clearing the ball. Yeah, it's not even a siege right now. It's putting the pillow over the heads of Gotham City going, shh, shh. Time to sleep, but we're not seeing any dreams on the pitch here. It's all nightmares, Jam.
HIBBS is doing something with zero boost again, and underneath the defenders goes NOAHSAKY. 3-0. And this match is looking a little bit one-sided. Long gone are the times of Gotham City beating their opposition through every single challenge. Lorry drivers are running circles around players in blue, and we might be looking to the second game already. What can Gotham City do in the remaining minute 20?
I would say set up their defense correctly. We're seeing a double commit there. That's the least of their issues. It's the positional sense of where they're sitting and where they are relative to the ball. Usually you like to sit as far on the backboard as you can. That's a shot not going to trouble the net, unfortunately. You want to sit on that backboard so that you're playing out into the midfield. You want runners to play it too, but as long as you're playing it out into the midfield, that's better than what's actually happening, which is they're defending against their own backboard. They're facing their own net because they get caught far upfield, and it's so easy to throw the ball over them in what is effectively Route 1 Rocket League, but Lorry Drivers is making it look like prime Barcelona.
How about this? HIBBS with an individual effort off the corner, but then as everybody's looking at him, GOMB sneaks in and tries to put a touch on the ball as well with Noah's touch. It's HIBBS on the ground faster than Tokyo, and Gotham City are late to the challenges. Perhaps shall I say Lorry Drivers are just rising so much earlier. Off the backboard and out. Gotham City tries to start an attack, but it falters yet again, and the time, I'd say we are looking at a W for Lorry Drivers.
It's unfortunately the situation where everything that could go wrong did go wrong for Gotham City. GG's, go next. We wiped the slate clean. It is only game number 1. I love bringing it up. It's cliche. I'm going to bring it up again. The most anomalous of any game within the space of a best of 5/best of 7, although some game 3s and 4s will have a conversation in the best of 7 realm. Nevertheless, it's what Gotham City didn't do in this 5-minute period that worries me going forward. You always want to have that inkling of something good so that you can take forward and you can build off that, but there wasn't really that much. The shots weren't that accurate, and that's something actually that Gotham City did really well in their game 5 up against Gross Noobs. And defensively, bit of a shambles, never looked convincing. So as long as they can settle down, grab an early goal here on Forbidden Temple, or indeed just keep the clean sheet for the first minute, it's at least something which they can roll with.
Let's see how Gotham City approaches this game number 2. For now, they've already seen, just like we did, what Lorry Driver's approach to the attack is, so even the defense for Gotham can now be a little bit more structured. But we need to also see at least one goal. For the first time that we've seen Gotham on screens, as immediate attack happens from the side of Lorry Drivers. For the first time we've seen Gotham City on our screens, they are scoreless in a match. And it's unfortunate to see BADNEZZ and Tokyo in this situation, but for at least they're immediately finding themselves on the other side of the pitch. But it keeps on exchanging, and Lorry Drivers are not comfortable with just giving the ball to the opposition. They want to keep the control themselves.
And why wouldn't they? They know that despite being the elder statesman, contextually speaking, KUXIR still has so much quality. It's the old saying, isn't it? It's the... You know what? Forget old sayings. It's about the here and now, champ. It doesn't matter. 1-0.
A tiny touch, blink and you miss it, as a little pinch goes off the side and puts the ball much further than KUXIR would have anticipated in that situation. Is all that takes for Lorry Drivers, with NOAHSAKY setting up HIBBS in front of the net. And they're rushing. They're immediately rushing on the other side of the field. Look at that. I love this support. For Gotham City, it sometimes feels like one player, and that's it. There's now a big space around them. Everybody comes in at some point. For Lorry Drivers, yes, they're risking a lot by putting 2 players in very close position to one another. But at the same time, the support that they get as a result of that is irreplaceable.
Mechanically head and shoulders above their opponents as things stand for the Lorry Drivers. Looking comfortable once again. KUXIR writes a second challenge, loses out eventually. It's HIBBS. Locks down Tokyo. Oh, that's a smart bump actually on NOAHSAKY. BADNEZZ allowed to break free of the shackles. Here's GOMB. Infield. Gives it up. And there was far too much time for NOAHSAKY. GOMB again. Looking for that backboard. Second touch. Gets it. KUXIR. Unconvincing. Tokyo following suit, although Tokyo at least cleans up the mess a little bit more convincingly.
KUXIR with no chance to get that ball, but BADNEZZ as a third for Gotham City is going to be making a collection. Was immediately aimed for KUXIR to collect it. But at that time, mistimed it to NOAHSAKY in front of Gotham City's net. Does not miss. A beautiful little setup. Gets everything going. Got the boost, got the position. And nobody from Gotham City has even a touch on what's going around.
We were waiting a while for our 6 players to enter the lobby. And it feels like it feels like Gotham City still haven't got their clocks realigned, because the amount of time which they're not spending closing down lorry drivers is worrisome. As a coach, I'd be very, very unhappy. Whether they've run out of steam, I don't know. But they're getting the steam pumped out of them, that's for sure.
I think they ran into a lorry. Noah, HIBBS, and honestly GOMB as well. They take the game to the next level. This is not what the Gross Noobs has shown, but lorry drivers individually are able to do wonders with the ball. BADNEZZ off the kickoff, not close enough, as Gotham City had themselves a chance off the immediate restart of the game, but not enough. And now on the other side of the field, crossbar barely out to get out. But again, my point is, lorry drivers are individually just absolutely on point. Their technical abilities, aerial dribbles, and flip reset mastery is right up there. And that's what Gotham City just cannot really do.
And you're spot on. We should give them that credit as well. It's not like they're playing terribly. Quite the opposite. They're playing excellently. It's why this is more of an embarrassment on the performance side of things than it perhaps should be for Gotham City. They don't look like they are able to scratch the surface of this defense. And even when they do find a crack in and amongst the armor, the shot goes high, the pass is misplaced, 2 minutes left, and at this stage even getting one goal will be a success.
Let's see, they needed to get anything out of this series. So far, game number 2 squarely in favor of lorry drivers. Same scoreline with which they won game number 1. And while the shots are there, it just does not, it all feels like a lorry drivers game. We might have waited a bit to get into this match. We might be exiting pretty quickly if things keep on going the lorry drivers' way. Interceptions, very important. Tokyo tries to read where NOAHSAKY is going to place his shot. And for just a little bit, I wanted to say that there's time for Gotham City, but KUXIR makes his touch, gets demoed, and somehow lorry drivers still keep the possession.
NOAHSAKY, the man who's been making the breakthrough more often than not. Back to HIBBS. GOMB already up, great pre-read. Very easy to pre-read, however, and thus it is cancelled out. NOAHSAKY up again, leaves it for HIBBS. Gonna hit that backboard, and Tokyo, that only goes out to NOAHSAKY. Gets a bit of it. Just
all the time.
I mean, at this point, it's just sort of stalling for the inevitable. 50 seconds left.
You could see that. It was his game plan. He did not need to do anything. Tokyo shows all his cards with that aerial attempt, and then on the ground, Noah only needs to wait. Also, one point, we haven't seen a KUXIR pinch from KUXIR, but we have seen it from Noah already. Something's not right with the world. We need to call Danny. We need to call Danny so he can call KUXIR so we can ask for a KUXIR pinch.
We saw a KUXIR pitch in the last series as well. I mean, there's everybody but him right now. And if that isn't the story of this game, I'm not sure what is. I don't think I've called his name out once since the first minute, being very MIA. BADNEZZ has looked the most positive when getting downfield, but starved of service. The boys going hungry. And so are we, Jam. We were promised excitement. We were promised intensity, and right now it's just a bit of wet soup.
Well, there's one team incredibly excited. Lorry drivers collect second game in a row with the same result. For Gotham City, oh, the alarm bells are ringing, and there is nothing for them still on the board for 10 minutes already, going scoreless after winning the previous series. Perhaps gotten just a little bit cold. One last chance. That's all they have, lorry drivers, on 3 consecutive match points. On the other side of the bracket, as we are looking to see who's going to be the opponent of the winner of the series, Mediterranean Boys swept OGC FC. It's clear. They're already in the grand finals. Natra, Sizen, Raziers, and Lewis P. Well.
So how many series is that? I mean, it is. We built this city on sweeps and rolling over opponents. It seems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the series in total today from the round of 16 onwards were game 4s or game 5s. Everything else sweeps, and it feels like this very much is going the same way. But riddle me this, Jam. Riddle me this. How do we see something completely different from a team that has produced the same tepid level of performance twice in a row?
Looking back to game number 5 of Gotham City versus Gross Noobs, it was aggression. Obviously, that aggression from Gotham City was coupled with touches with good positioning. You cannot just like throw it all and hope for the best. They still need to execute on every single one of these maneuvers, but right now they need to find an extra speed in their cars. They do not have any cars anymore. 2 of the players just got dead.
They need to find that poison ivy to dispel the banes of their existence right now. The Penguin. There we go, all the references in one. If they lose, I can go home happy. NOAHSAKY will go home happy if he can completely embarrass the defense again. BADNEZZ puts up the save. Very middling on the backboard. Ultimately takes the right route, able to read the ultimate shot coming through. GOMB, BADNEZZ again has to corral this, and great pinch out into the middle. Offers Tokyo a way out, but look at this. Even in the transition, lorry drivers, no complacency, and I love to see that.
Anybody in touch for this? GOMB collects it. As Gotham City were trying to set up something, they had the players around. Right now, they don't have anybody in there. Tokyo needed to make that touch. And you can see the setup was pretty good. Anybody on the backboard? Well, BADNEZZ needs to make a touch. Tokyo needed to be a little bit more vertical in his approach. In the end, well, ball just falls on through.
That's not an error befitting a player at this level of tournament play, unfortunately. And Tokyo will know that. Here's another one on target. GOMB makes the save. It's a parting gift. We're still 2 months away from Christmas, but hey, it's a season of good cheer, so why not extend it a little bit longer, especially when the pummeling has been so complete. 1 minute 30 into this game jam. Still no goals for the team in blue.
KUXIR, how about a double tap? Even a single tap would have worked in that situation, I suppose. Again, a little bit of gift from lorry drivers, making it clear from the other side of the field. Touches not confident from lorry drivers right now. All they need is just this, continuing on their strategy. You can see how closely knit their position. Again, risky, but this allows them to just threaten Gotham City's net from any old angle. And knowing that Gotham have not been able to make that many long clears, i.e. something that goes way past the midfield line, lorry drivers can't commit all of these resources so close.
They know that they're facing a defense made of hay at the moment, and they're only making the situation worse. They're throwing a match into the hay because they keep on picking up the 100 boosts. It's ruthless. It's ruthless, and it's fantastic from the lorry drivers. As much as Gotham City looks bad now, yeah, folks, it's actually what their opponents are doing so well, which is why we're seeing such domination all over the pitch. Is it a little bit boring? Yes, but it's comprehensive. It almost puts them in good stead. Oh, what a save from Tokyo, but it's still all coming. NOAHSAKY falls on it. Oh, it's another save to their post. It's like from BADNEZZ. They're just about keeping themselves in here, Gotham City. And Jam, if it's a 1-goal game, there's still hope.
It's still doable, but the problem is Gotham City has been stuck in their own half for such a long time, boostless, without really any prospects on the other side of the field. Okay, they dump the ball down the field. Lorry drivers are there to collect it, and the boost has already been taken all across the field, going back to the other side of the field. They try to dribble. They don't seem to be really favoring that playstyle in that situation, and lorry drivers still have a lot of momentum around the field. KUXIR gets absolutely bodied on that one, but makes the save, and he has his teammates in support.
I don't know whether Tokyo has been playing some Baldur's Gate 3 recently, but he's been away with the fairies for the last minute or so, completely out of rotation, seemingly oblivious as to the position of his team, or indeed the potential challenge follow-up opportunities that could land his way if he was to put himself in the right position. That's a weak source clearance from HIBBS, and again, it gives the option to move forward, but what a bump on Tokyo. Finally makes the right call. Here's the resulting shot from KUXIR. It was but a tickle on the feather, and it's still 1-0.
Going back to the defense, are Gotham City with a chance to perhaps surround lorry drivers. They once again opt out to be more defensive than anything else. Long gone are the demos and physical plays as well.
Nice.
Gotham, long range effort, but off the post, Tokyo gets interfered with. We go back to the blue side of the field.
Best chance. Oh, don't tell me it's going to go in. It almost does. How was that not registered as a save? My goodness me. Tokyo, it's another whiff. Intercepted by KUXIR, runs out of boost. This NOAHSAKY left to his own devices underneath BADNEZZ. It's absolutely brilliant. 40 seconds, the clock burning in the fires of a performance that is not necessarily passionate, but like a doctor, clinical, the lorry drivers on song.
GOMB is going to be trying to find something again. Flip, reset,
Oh!
pay passively. Who needs everybody from Gotham City to make that save? And I say, every single one on lorry drivers can do magic with the ball. And right now, are they the first one to the ball? No, this time they're playing just a little bit safer. And in these remaining 10 seconds, Relic, they need to keep themselves clean in the back. Can they do?
It's HIBBS. And just keeping it up in the air is the right call at this stage. They're asking for it. They were all asking for it. Gotham City, everybody looking, nobody doing. And in fact, nothing was done. It's a clean sweep for the lorry drivers who run Gotham City ragged.
Them and everybody else in the bracket so far. Out of the two teams in the grand finals, lorry drivers are joining Mediterranean boys. It is lorry drivers who have not dropped a single game. This is lorry drivers' moment to shine. But Mediterranean boys, though, Sizen, Braziers, Lewis P. I would have honestly could have given them win any other time of the day. All I know that the grand finals supposedly is going to be an exciting one.
It should be, Jam. It really should be. And what a great time to see Sizen again. It's a really interesting story, his, because like so many others in more recent years, he is the victim of a team preferring someone else. The Vitality team was good for EU, and then along comes potentially the best wonder kid in the esports history, and he's the one who gets thrown to the wayside. Well, he's found a new team, and it looks like it's gelling pretty well, at least in the early stages, whether it's a pickup here, whether it's an audition for some other sort of opportunity along the line. Let's see whether he can get some moolah into his pocket, at least from the first place prize, rather than the second place.
He's making a name for himself once over, and it's right here on the Rendezvous where you can see the best players around in Europe. This is the bubble scene, and folks, do not forget, next week you can participate in the tournament yourself, November 3rd, so do get your team registered. All the information is below, perhaps even in the Twitch chat as well. You don't want to miss it. Get yourself a trio play, get yourself a chance to be on the stream as well. But it's time for prepare for the grand event, and that, of course, is the grand final Rendezvous number 5, just around the corner. We're going to take a short break.